Hello everyone, so in this video I am unboxing the newest addition to the Wyze Cam family. This is the Wyze Cam V3, and at the same time I also bought a Wyze Cam Pan because there is one room that we had the need for the camera to be able to turn 360 degrees. We mainly use those cameras to monitor or to keep an eye on our cats in our home. And if you see in the background, those are the Xiaomi Mi Cam. So we bought those few years back in China when I came back and visited my old country. However, this thing has stopped, our Xiaomi has stopped support for those cameras in the United States. So when I took those cameras back here in the States, I think sometime around end of last year, they actually stopped supporting those cameras. So in my Xiaomi app, I was not able to see the cameras, and we have decided why not just buy something domestic. So Wyze has been on the market for a long time, and this is their version 3 of the camera. I also have a version 1, the earliest version, as well as a version 2. So at the end of this video, I'm gonna actually just put up a few clips for you guys to compare to see if the quality of the V3 compared to the version 1 and the version 2 has improved or not. Otherwise, the V3 actually now is sealed or weather sealed for the outdoor use. So that's definitely a plus, because the version 2 and the version 1, you are not able to use it outside. Okay, so let's open up the package. And I'm just gonna quickly set it up. Now, again, to set those cameras up, it's super simple. You just get the app and follow the instructions in the app, and also make sure you have the Wi-Fi connections. And that's pretty much the requirements there is to be able to use those cameras. Now, the V3 has been out again for a few months, but there was a shortage problem with those cameras, I think during the pandemic. But now they are readily available on Amazon. I bought it on Amazon. This is $5 more expensive than the version 2. So this one sells for $29.95, something like that. The Wyze Cam Pan, this one, of course, with this 1080p panning, tilting, and zoom function, is selling for only $36. So really not that much money if you compare to some other offerings from the big names such as the Ring or the Nest, by the way, which we also have. So I'm gonna be able to actually just give you guys a quick conclusion at the end of this video and tell you guys what I think about the Wyze compared to those other cameras that I've mentioned earlier. So we're gonna unbox the newest version 3 first. Sorry guys. This is what came with the version 3. So let's take a look one by one. You have your standard AC DC adapter. You have your mounting bracket with the 3M thing, so you can stick it onto any surface you like, but this is a permanent mount, so be really careful. And you have some screws if you want to mount this on your wall. This is the standard USB cable. They always give you a flat USB cable, which is quite nice. And instructional manual, quick start guide. Let's see again. So to set up, really you basically just need to download the app, connect the camera, and then press one button on the bottom of the camera for the setup to continue. So basically just follow the instructions. It should be really simple. There is also something that tells you about the light indicator. So if it's solid red, it says the device is initializing, flashing red, it's ready to connect. And if it's red and blue, it's connecting. And if it's blue, that means it's finished the setup, or flashing blue, it means setup is finished. And when the camera is ready to use, it's going to be a solid blue light. And that's pretty much it. On the back, of course, it's a Spanish, I think, manual. So there really isn't much to this camera. And again, the price point also reflects, the simplicity of this camera. So let's see. So yeah, that's pretty much in this box. So let's see what the camera looks like compared to the old one. And since I have the version 2, I'm gonna be able to actually just grab my version 2 and we're gonna do a quick size comparison really quick. All right, so let me grab my version 2. All right, so we have the version 2 in our living room, and this is what the version 2 looks like. Let's see. Now compared to the 3 is actually more rounded. So peel off the front lens cap. It's definitely more rounded. It looks more modern to me. So this is a side profile, and if you compare it top to bottom, really, you know, it's actually no, never mind. It's pretty much the same size, honestly. Even from the profile view, you guys can see it's pretty much, again, same size. So the interesting thing is for the version 3, instead of a direct USB connection and a USB port, now it just has this cable that's hanging out. So I think the reason is they have sealed the external, so you can probably use it outdoors if you want. And the zigzag configuration of the base is still pretty much the same. So again, like if you set it up like that, it's gonna fall, so you pretty much have a limited angle in terms of how you can use it. But as you guys can see, nothing has changed besides a slight cosmetic difference on those cameras. So the front, again, I'm pretty sure this is turnable. Yep. So you can have some, you know, really creative angles if you want to just get the image straight. But other than that, the lens looks slightly different. This one, the V3, looks to be having a slightly bigger lens. Yeah, so physically there is a slight difference on the lens. So I am gonna set up the camera and connect it to the app so we can continue with this review. But again, looking at the back, so the main difference is they have now made this camera kind of outdoor ready. So this one, if you expose it to the environment, of course the area is gonna get rusted. I've done a video review a while back of trying to use version 1 as an outdoor camera, and after a while the camera actually started to disintegrate and the lens got really really messed up. So the version 1, version 2 is really not designed for outdoors. Okay, so let me set it up and I'll see you guys in the next section. So before I set it up, I just want to show you guys what the newly designed outdoor ready cable looks like. So on the back, it's, you know, sealed again, and over here this thing is actually soft and rubbery. So when you actually push this in here, it actually hugs the other side. As you can see, there is a little bulge over there, so it's pretty weather sealed, so the water is not gonna easily come into the USB connector, and that's how they make it you know, outdoor ready. Okay, so that's the difference, or the extra $5 premium that they're paying for this connection, as well as the so-called, you know, image improvements that they said they have done for the version 3. All right, so now with that out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and set it up, and we're gonna use my phone app, and then we're gonna take a look and see the image quality difference. So I just connected the camera. As you can see, the indicator is actually in the front, and that's the only indicator it's got. Now it's flashing, that means you know, it's initializing or whatever, or ready to connect. So we're gonna go into my Wyze app, or the Wyze app as they call. And we're gonna try to add a new camera. So here's my app, and here's the camera. Let's see. Let's let's see, how do we add a new camera? So I'm gonna press the plus, and then we're gonna add a device. We're gonna go to the cameras, and this is version 3 right here. So it says the flashing red, so it's ready, and then we're gonna hit next. So interestingly, I did not hear a ready to connect. That's because we're gonna have to flip this and hit that setup button on the back. So let me go find out where that button is. Okay, so this is the button. It's right here. It says setup, and over here is the SD card slot that I totally missed. You can put a SD card in here, so it stores the images and the videos right here. Okay, so I'm gonna press the setup button.
Ready to connect.
All right, so now it's actually ready to connect. It's pretty much, when you click that, it's gonna have a barcode that I can scan. And I'm gonna enter my password. And it gives me a QR code. So I'm gonna scan the QR code on my phone for the camera.
Ready to connect. QR code scanned. Please wait.
And once the QR code is scanned, I hit the next step on my phone, and now it's connecting. So you're gonna see the indicator light changes when it goes solid blue. It's ready to use. That's how quick it is to set up a Wyze camera. So over here, I can, rename my device, give it a location, and then just some other settings in there. But this thing is pretty much ready to go. That's very quick connection and setup. So I am gonna just call this a bedroom camera so we can monitor our pets, the pet cam. Give it a location, guest bed, or let's actually say master bedroom. And of course, it's asking if I want to go with a Cam Plus membership, which is similar to the Ring membership, and I think it's slightly cheaper. I don't want that because this is a pet cam, so I'm just gonna maybe later. Okay, so you can share the device with another family member by entering their email address. So when they log in with their email, they'll be able to see this device. Okay. So I'm gonna just set up everything, and there is a upgrade available. So I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade the camera right out of the box. So when you first start using the camera, they actually give you a 14-day of the Cam Plus a membership, so you can try it for 14 days, and at the end of the trial, they're gonna tell you can either renew or you go back to the basic. With the membership, you'll be able to record motions detected for up to whatever minutes that they allow. But again, I think it's cheaper than the Ring, and definitely cheaper than the Nest membership. And so far, the Nest membership is the most expensive that we have in our house. But with that, we get a continuous recording, like 24/7, that's being uploaded and we can view it for up to 14 days, I believe. With the Ring, it only records the motion when it detects it, so it's not a continuous recording. So the camera is still updating. And I'm really excited because I really want to compare the image quality of the version 3 to the version 2. And I'll show you guys a image quality of the version 1. I still have 2 of those version 1 cameras. If this is good, I'm just going to retire the version 1 and get the version 3. So when the camera finishes upgrading, light turns red, and eventually it's going to restart and then turn blue. And then it's going to be ready to use again. Okay guys, so I have just set the version 2 and the version 3 side by side, and I'm trying to compare the apparent image quality on my phone because again, this is iPhone 12 Pro Max, so it's gonna give me a pretty good I guess visual comparison and see if there's any difference in terms of image quality. So what I'm going to try to see is the area on the side over here. So there's a picture frame over there and picture frame over there, and then my face when it's being exposed with the background lighting. So the light is coming in from the window, and in the front there really isn't much lighting at all. So this is all lit by the side light. And this is, let's see, this is the version 3. So I'm gonna switch to version 2 and we're gonna take a look. So this is the version 2, and very apparent is with the version 2, as you guys can see, it looks like I'm it looks like I'm inside at night because my face is actually much darker compared to the version 3. They might have bumped up the I guess signal to noise ratio, the ISO, slightly for the version 3, because the version 2, my face is not as well exposed compared to the version 3. So this is a version 2. And if I'm looking at the picture on the side over here, it's very dark. In terms of sharpness, it looks to be the same, because if I look at the picture on the other side, on the right side, that picture looks to be pretty sharp. So my conclusion is, yes, they did improve the image quality from the version 2 to version 3, and I think mainly on the sensitivity of the sensor, because in terms of sharpness, I think it's pretty much the same. Like in terms of sensitivity, there's a huge difference. Like just by this quick comparison, I can tell you guys version 3 definitely have more sensitivity in low light compared to the version 2. So again, this is version 2. Look at the picture there, how dark it is, and look at the sharpness, it's about the same. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to version 3 for you guys to take another look. And this is the version 3. Much better with my face properly exposed and getting a proper exposure on the wall over there with the picture. Sensitivity wise, it's definitely much better, much better, guys. So if you care about low light performance, you should definitely get the version 3, because there is a huge improvement in picture quality in low light, only for $5 more. So really, it's a no-brainer. Image quality wise, sharpness is the same. So if you have the camera and you have a well-lit area, there probably isn't gonna be much difference. But if you have the camera like indoors, mostly in the dark area, definitely get the version 3, okay? It's much better, okay? So with that said, I am gonna unbox the Wyze Cam Pan and see if the image quality is comparable to the version 3 or it's kind of same as the version 2. And so I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm gonna unbox this one. I'm gonna close the Wyze app, and I'm pretty sure the like the setup experience is pretty much the same, except this one I'm assuming it's gonna get a little more control compared to the version 3, which is pretty simple. So again, another quick start guide. And the setup process pretty similar. There's also a micro SD card slot, and obviously this is built for indoor only because there's a USB slot on the back. Accessories in this plain white box. Let's open up, see what's inside. Your common affair. You have the AC DC adapter. You have the USB cable, exactly same as the version 3. And this is the camera itself. This is much larger, okay, compared to the version 3 or the version 2 for that matter. Yeah, much larger. And of course, because they have to build the motor in it, and they also have to go up and down, so it's a reasonable size for a fully rotatable camera. Now this is the pan and tilt Wyze Cam. And taking a general look, so obviously on the bottom there isn't a angle adjusting thing. It's just like a dish that rotates. On the back, of course, you can see the USB cable. You're gonna put it there, and the base doesn't move. The only thing moves is the top. And there is a small button over here, I think, or a speaker maybe. There is also a setup button on the bottom right here. Okay, so let's get it powered up, and we're gonna do a comparison. Trying to peel this off, and it's a little harder to peel off for some reason. It almost feels like if I'm peeling this off, there's another layer on top that almost gets peeled off. So yeah, so on the side of the lens here, there are rubbery parts, same as the version 2, and version 3 also has it. So when I was trying to peel the thing off, I almost peeled this part off, which is a little weird. Now this lens, it seems to be a wider setup, and in terms of coating, it doesn't have much of a multi-layer coating on the lens inside. So I'm really curious. So let me just get this quickly set up, and we're jumping to the image quality, because the setup is pretty much gonna be same as the other two cameras. Okay, so I'm gonna again connect the power, and we're gonna do a test really quick. Okay, and there is the orange light in the front, so we're gonna just wait for it to finish initializing, and then we're gonna connect it really quick. Again, doesn't really take much efforts to set up those cameras nowadays. It's super easy. Now the version 3 doesn't come with this mounting thing, because again, it's designed to sit on the desk. Okay, so I'm gonna press the setup button on the bottom. Oh, the light is flashing. It could mean it's, whoa. Oh wow, this thing actually rotates very fast. So very nice. It's way faster than the Xiaomi. It almost. Okay guys, so I have finished upgrading the Wyze Cam Pan, and it's pretty much ready to go. Okay, so I'm gonna open up my Wyze Cam app. Now I've got a lot of cameras in here. This is the Wyze Cam Pan, and in terms of the viewing area, it's about the same, I would say, as the other two cameras, the version 2 and the version 3. And in terms of image quality, now we're gonna again compare my face, exposure on my face, and the two images on the sides, so we can see the sharpness of this camera. So if you look over here, compared to the version 3, it's definitely lacking in terms of sharpness, but it did. So the cool thing with this one is I'm gonna be able to just use my finger, and then it's gonna tilt the camera a little bit. So I'm gonna try not to touch the screen so we can compare it. But you can see the image on the side, on the left side, is a little blurry, and the image on the other side, again, the sharpness is the same. So very comparable sharpness in terms of to the version 2 and the version 3. And in terms of exposure, I would say this cam pan is in between the version 2 and the version 3. So it's able to show the detail on the purple wall over there. And on my face, I would say the darkness on my face is in between the version 2 and the version 3. So version 3, my face is very well lit or exposed. And the version 2, my face is very dark. And now my face is like in between with the pan cam. So I would say, yes, it's comparable, and it's kind of in between the version 2 and the version 3. So just for comparison, I'm going to go back and show you guys what the version 2 looks like again. Again, it's going to be very dark on the version 2. You guys see? So the version 2, my face is very dark, and the color is kind of washed off. And the image on the over there, I mean, you can see some of the details, and you can kind of see the wall is purple, but it's very dark purple. And I'm gonna move it a little over there, and you can see our cats on the side right there. That's Sweet Pea. Distorted, of course, because it's a wide angle camera. In terms of sharpness over there, yeah, pretty sharp. So this is version 2, okay? And we're gonna go back and see version 3, which is the newest generation. So I would assume eventually Wyze is gonna put up a new camera that's pan, but it's gonna be a pan version 2 that uses the version 3 technology to make it nice and bright. So again, this is version 3. Much sharper, much better exposed image, especially on my face. It's actually sharper. It's definitely sharper. Okay, it shows a lot more detail. And I'm gonna show you guys Sweet Pea over there. As you guys can see, a lot more detail around this area. Okay, so yes. And just for comparison, I'm gonna show you guys the image of the version 1, which is the oldest camera that I have. So this is our other house. This is a version 1. As you can see, the lens is actually disintegrated because I've actually tested this camera outside. So the lens is really messed up. It's got a lot of distortion, and the light, the coating is messed up. That's why the image quality is generally pretty washed out for the most part. And again, in terms of sharpness, you can see some of the details in the image. So again, if you guys only compare like the sensor sharpness from the version 1 all the way to version 3, it's going to be pretty much the same. But the most important difference is how well the image is exposed. The exposure or the sensitivity of the sensor is very much different, because the resolution is all same. It's all 1080p. Sharpness pretty much the same, but the exposure difference is huge. It's very, very I would say from the version 1 to the version 3, it's much more improved. So if you guys are in the market, especially shopping for a Wyze camera, you should definitely get the version 3 because it gives you the best image quality possible. However, if you guys have the need for a pan and a tilting function, again, I'll show you guys how quick this thing pans and tilts. You can see I'm able to very quickly adjust that camera, and if I turn it over this way, it turns very, very quickly. And I also know there's option to set it up to always turning and also set up the turning speed. But again, I have no use of those features at this point. And this camera will be very useful for people who have a large area to cover and have the need of panning and tilting the camera. Okay, so yes, mostly very useful feature. And in terms of exposure, I mean, it's pretty decent. It's not as good as the version 3, but it's much more improved compared to the version 2. And you have this definitely added benefit of seeing a much wider area. This is 360-degree panning, by the way, so it's a huge pan. It's very versatile. So sacrifice on the image quality just a little bit to get more function. It's a no-brainer. So again, you guys have options, but I think personally, if you're in the market for Wyze cameras, if you have the need for a coverage of a much larger area and you only need it indoors, get the Wyze Pan. If you guys have the need for a stationary camera, definitely get the Wyze version 3. Much more improved image quality. Okay, so I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, please do hit the like button or subscribe, and I highly appreciate your support. And most definitely, so I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, please do hit that like button or subscribe, and I would highly appreciate it. And I'll try to have more similar comparison videos out for you guys in the future, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay, thanks again, and take care.